So what do you call yourself? Welcome to the LaTangela Show. Hey.
Hey, what can I do for you this fine day?
This is your destiny. Hot, hot, hot.
Right now.
Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Kick it.
Come on in and enjoy yourself.
Right now.
We gon' party like no one else. Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Can you hear me now? Well, good. Hey, what's up? It's your girl LaTangela, and thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to hang out with me for another episode of the LaTangela Show. Well, we'll chit about this, we'll chat about that. Of course, I am the queen of random research. I had to dig deep. The surveys have been conducted, the results are in. Which side will you fall on? Yay? Nay? Kinda, sorta? Nah, not really? Well, listen, you don't want to miss it. And of course, I always want you to join the conversation. Hit me up with the Twitter alert at LaTangelaFay. And you can always find all of my links posted at LaTangela.com. Now, you know, everybody's been talking about it. We're still in phase 3 here. Now, what does it look like in your area, in your city, in your state? Phase 3. Pretty much still doing the same things we did in phase 2. Loosen the restrictions here and there. Face masks, face coverings. It's still mandated. Social distancing is still required. Washing our hands often, it's still a thing. But are you going to the games? Are you going out to the restaurants? Are you going out on family vacations and field trips more freely? Hit me up, I want to know. As a matter of fact, tag me, field trip with Tan. Let me know. I kind of want to continue living vicariously through you. Now, you know, we have plenty of ways to stay connected throughout the week. I am the voice inside your speaker box, Monday through Sundays at WMX Max 94.1, Baton Rouge's official #1 for hip hop and R&B, 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. So please feel free to turn me on and turn me up. Wednesday nights on the Louisiana Film Channel. I'm there as your host of Wednesday Night Movies. I look forward to highlighting some of the Louisiana filmmakers as they're highlighting the arts, the culture, the food, and even giving us a spin on what's going on in the capital city, surrounding areas, and the beautiful state of Louisiana. Thank you so much. NMGO1 Radio, I appreciate you for always helping me spread the word. And, you know, LaTangela.com will give you all of the other information and the calendar. You know, I've been getting a lot of requests for people wanting interviews to be on the podcast. New episodes drop every Friday morning, and I would really like to hear your story. Or even if you want to submit your Dear 2020. It's a new feature that was inspired by this pandemic. We've learned a lot within the last several months in Dear 2020. If you wanted to leave something with Dear 2020 to the rest of the world, or if you said, listen, 2020 has taught me this, I'd like to hear it. As a matter of fact, drop me the line at LaTangelaFay, and all of the links again, LaTangela.com. You know, the voters registration, it's been going well. Census registration, it's been going well. It's a part of the conversation, but how has your follow-through been? Have you been checking up with your family and friends to see if they've joined the movement as well? Because it's really important that we let our voices be heard through our vote. November, we need to be taking that ultimate field trip to the polls. Letting your voice be heard through your vote, it's important. All of these presidential debates and even for the local elections, it's important. You are the decision makers. If you don't vote about it, please don't complain about it. And you see what the stats are looking like. You know, it's painful. It's painful to see. But if you're living in a state that's number 50 in opportunity, number 45 in healthcare, when you talk about the education and crime rate and the repeat crime offenders, it's just like, at what point do we say we really need a change? We really need a change. Well, the change comes with us, our vote, with our follow-through, with our actions, with the things that we really give the energy towards. So please be responsible with your vote. Be responsible with your platform. If it's on your social media, if it's in the barbershop, if it's in the church house, be responsible with that platform and let the right things come out of your mouth. Telling people that it's important, that's the right thing. I can't tell you how to vote, but I will tell you to vote and know what you're voting for. Know who you're voting for. Is it somebody that's a real leader? A follower, Are we just here to say, questions that need answers. Don't get stuck with what you get just because you didn't do the research and the due diligence. All right, soapbox, I'm off of it. Now look, there's this such thing as a flirting face. Did you know that? I was trying to figure it out. Dear 2020, that was on my list. Well, according to ESPN, they have it where a flirting face, and you're supposed to be able to hook you one because cuffing season is right around the corner. According to a new study out of the University of Kansas, there's a such thing as a flirting face. Now, this is only for women, so fellas, I'm gonna have to work on you a little bit later, but ladies, let's get our flirting faces together. Researchers said that it's pretty much universal across the board, and this is how they described it. Your head is turned to one side, okay, and tilted down slightly, wait, okay. You should have a slight smile, wait, is that slight? Is that slight? And your eyes are locked on the person you're flirting with, wait. How is that? How is that? Wait a second. I need to know who gets paid the big bucks to come up with this stuff. All of that may be something that works, but I just feel a little out of place knowing that there's a such thing as a flirting face. And if you don't master tilting your head down, turn to one side, making eye contact and smiling slightly. How is a hey, how you doing? Does that still work? No? All right. Well, today when you're walking around the crib, I have a task for you. According to Reddit, they conducted a random research to see what's the oldest piece of electronics that you have in your house. Oh, you know what? Wait a second. Let's go on a scavenger hunt. Okay, so I've conducted all of my own research around the crib. What's the oldest piece of technology that you have in your house? According to Reddit, technology changes so fast, it's really hard for us to keep up with what's throwback. Yeah, it really is. We start getting rid of stuff as soon as it's outdated. Oh, you need the 9, you need the 9S, you need the 9S plus, and then it's just like, well, what about that 5? What about that 6? They still work perfectly fine, but do you call that outdated? No, not so much. But someone on Reddit, they actually went through and said, well, listen, I think I found some of the oldest pieces of electronics and throwbacks. A top-loading VCR with dial turners for VHF and UHF. Now, see, I can't help you with that. I think we tossed that out in the 90s. But if you have it, just hold on to it because it could be worth something on the road show. A microwave that's older than most people who live in the house. Probably the kind that warms the food up really fast, or that 60-watt bulb. Or an easy bake oven. Easy bake ovens used to be the lick. I used to have one. It took forever to do some cornbread or one little egg in it. Yeah, but I think every kid should get an easy bake oven. Dear Santa. Here's one that I had to go through. A rotary phone that still works. Okay. A rotary phone that still works. I have it. This is made out of like some cast iron. You can hear it as it, listen. You hear that? That's a heavy phone, right? Now the rotary, it still works, and my grandfather years ago had it rewired. This was his mom's first house phone, and this thing weighs like 10, 15 pounds, no lie. Like, if it were to ring, it'll probably scare us all, but... Hey, what is that? What is that? A house phone? Who does that? Yeah, so I still have a house phone, and yes, it's my rotary phone. Cassette tapes. What? Say less. It's my first album on cassette. I kid you not. And yes, I still have it in my tape player. So Reddit, you didn't say nothing but a word. And when you start talking about those old school cell phones, listen, you can say what you want. But this Blackberry next to that Nextel with the chirp chirp had to have been one of the best phones ever created. You could drop it a zillion times and it would still work. The only reason I got rid of this thing is because it took forever to send a text. Once you found out that every single word or letter had its own button, you kind of had to come up off of this one because it didn't let you do much. And you couldn't play many games other than Snake. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. They also said a Radio Shack handheld keyboard made the list and a Rolodex of business cards. I used to have a Rolodex of business cards. Now I just have the business cards, and sometimes you have to scan those into the new app because there's a new app for that. what is the oldest piece of electronics or old school that you have around your house? Please take the picture and send it to me. If you have that VHS, I want to see it. If you have that 8-track, I want to see it. As a matter of fact, the person that comes up with it and slides in my DM, I'm going to hook you up with a free copy of my book, Poof, entitled Power Over Obstacles Forever. Poof, Power Over Obstacles Forever. You know, we're going to have some fun with our scavenger hunt this week to see who has the oldest piece of electronics or throwback in the crib. Now look, according to How Stuff Works and National Today, National Cheeseburger Day, it's really a thing, and it was on the calendar last month. Did you know that? Yeah, neither did I. I missed it. But you know, it must have been invented by mistake. And not talking about the actual holiday, but the actual cheeseburger. Did you know that? It was unintentional, but it's one of the world's largest selling menu items now. Now, according to National Today, they said a field trip to Pasadena, California in 1924, the cheeseburger was accidentally invented. Now the story goes to a guy named Lionel Sternberger. He was working at his dad's hamburger stand. He was working at his dad's hamburger stand outside of LA when he burned one side of a burger and decided to cover it up with cheese. Hence, the cheeseburger was invented, my friend. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna believe that or not, but it sounds like next level genius to me. It sounds like something I would have done. So, I mean, I like it. I like it. You gotta be quick. Hey man, look, I'll slice some cheese, just add 35 extra cents. Life is good. Now, it also stated for National Cheeseburger Day in random research that we prefer American cheese over cheddar. Is that true? It was a close call. According to a recent survey of at least 2,000 Americans, 66% like American cheese on their burger, while 65% like cheddar. Swiss is a distant third with 43%. I couldn't tell you the last time I asked for Swiss cheese on a cheeseburger. Like, it probably on a muffalotto. But when was the last time you had a muffalotto? You kind of have both on accident. Yeah, but you know. Now, a restaurant out in Michigan, they decided to participate with the National Cheeseburger Day, and they came up with something that was just too outlandish for me. An 1,800-pound cheeseburger that cost $10,000. Yeah, it's not that serious, right? It used 2,000 pounds of raw meat, 300 pounds of cheese, tomatoes, onions, pickles, and lettuce, and a bun that weighed 250 pounds. It took them about 16 hours to cook, and when it was all put together, it was almost 3 feet tall and 6 feet wide. That's what you call doing the extreme most. I'm not really impressed. That, like, come on y'all, got to be more careful. Okay, so look, I'm completely over the cheeseburger, but let's just be clear. Whenever SWNS conducts random research, you have to pay attention. They always get it right. Or do they? Now, over the past year, we've all needed a little extra comfort here and there, and they've conducted some random research on the top 10 comfort foods of 2020 so far. So today for the Taste of Tange, I present to you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, SWNS top 10 list of comfort foods for 2020. Now, coming in at number 10, fried chicken. I am so shocked that it came in at the bottom of the top 10. Like, wait, what? Really? Okay, coming in at number 9, cereal. They didn't break it down as of which ones, but if I had to pick, Sugar Smacks, Fruit Loops, maybe some old school like Total, maybe. But that came in at number 9 with 34%. Chocolate came in at number 8 on the top 10 of comfort foods at 37%. Then you have cookies. Now, if you're reaching for a comfort food and cookie makes your top 10 list, what cookie is it? Oreos, Chips Ahoy, peanut butter, Girl Scouts, like, what cookie? These are questions that need answers. Also, according to SWNS, and they're talking about the top 10 comfort foods, potato chips, number 6 with 39%. You know, I found myself to a Dorito bag here and there. Yeah, and I've really been all for chips. Dear 2020. Mac and cheese, smack dab in the middle at number 5. Coming in at number 4, you have French fries at 45%. Ice cream wasn't too far behind at number 3 with 46%. Coming in at number 2 when you're talking about comfort foods of 2020 and the top 10 list according to SWNS, burgers. We just finished talking about the burger. Well, that's why. And coming in at number 1 according to SWNS when they're saying the comfort food of 2020 so far has been bing, Pizza. Pizza. Yeah. Now, 55% said that they're eating it, and they're eating it more often, and you can't get it wrong. Yeah. I can see that. Frozen pizza, delivery pizza, homemade pizza. Okay. All right, SWNS, I think you got it right for the most part. Now, let's take a quick field trip around the world, 60 seconds or less. Are you ready? We'll start your timers. If you're ready to travel, Hawaii, Cowabunga, is ready to open back up. Give it a second or two, but right now you have to quarantine for 2 weeks if you go to Hawaii. But soon you don't have to worry about that because that is ending October 15th. As long as you test negative before you fly, you won't have to quarantine when you get to Hawaii. Now, also making headline news around the world in 60 seconds or less, an 88-year-old guy out in Massachusetts named Brad Hathaway. He's been on a mission to walk 24,901 miles. Now, that's supposedly the exact circumference of the Earth. Now, keep in mind, I did say that Mr. Hathaway is 88 years old, and this is his goal, okay? Now, the exact circumference of the Earth is right at 24,901 miles, and he plans to make this happen. He started walking 3 miles a day in 1988, so this is a man with a plan, and he was dealing with some health problems, so this really helped him out along the way. He's hoping to hit his goal by the end of next month, and he's raising money for charity on GoFundMe. And he said he's going to walk his final mile on October 3rd. Now, if he's going Facebook Live with this, I'm going to be tuned in. Go ahead. Did you get your steps in today? Yes, but it has not been 24,901 miles worth today. Yeah, maybe that's a goal we want to hit. How many miles do we want to hit before the end of 2020? I like it. Hit me up, LaTangela.com. That's going to be our new challenge. We're here. I got you. And remind me to do the same tomorrow. Now, you know, everybody's been concerned about social distancing and if Halloween should be a thing this year or not. Of course, Hershey's is not feeling it. And when we say Hershey's, yes, we're talking about the candy factory. Hershey's does not want to cancel Halloween. Of course they don't. It's like their #1 moneymaker, right? So they launched an interactive map that shows how risky it is to trick or treat in every country in America. They also said, look, this will be an alternate activity if it's too risky in your area. You can check it out for yourself at Halloween2020.org. That's good thinking, Hershey. Log on to Halloween2020.org. Hey, when you talk about companies that really hit a lick, they started thinking, look, if families are going to be at home, if families are going to readjust, we have to adapt to the situation with them. Hats off to Disney. Disney said, listen, families will be together more often. We need movies that the entire family will enjoy. Okay, well, Mulan for the win. If you haven't checked it out, chances are you're like the only person, according to Disney, that has not. Disney's decision to put Mulan on Disney Plus and charge $29.99, it seems like a good business idea, but to the family, are you willing to pay that $29.99? But obviously, a lot of people actually were. Now, they were saying that the confirms are 29% of U.S. household with a Disney Plus subscription that actually bought the movie. Disney Plus was a big hit, like right in March, April, everybody was jumping on it. Now, they estimated that means about 9 million households has Disney Plus. Before you start sharing the codes and bootlegging, that's what they're looking at. Now, that would add up to about $261 million in Mulan money alone. Now, that's just in the United States. They didn't even go across anybody's water to say, well, how is it doing over here? And forget about the places that don't even have Disney Plus yet, but they're working on it. Disney, you're on to something. Although I saw some sad news that came across about the big layoff that they're doing for the Disney parks. Yeah, COVID really hit it and a lot of people aren't vacationing and the RSVP for the parks really put a damper on the situation. So they're trying to recoup that money and hopefully they'll be able to reiterate the money and jobs and get other people back to work because it's a big hit and it's going to be different for quite some time. Now, you know, when you start looking at other things, according to Reddit, a wedding RSVP card went viral for all of the wrong reasons. Now, I'm thinking to myself, in times like these, maybe you should just really consider the justice of the peace. maybe you should really consider doing a small wedding and maybe a bigger reception when outside reopen. But that's me thinking out loud. That's something that Tan would like to do. I can't think on behalf of anybody else but self, right? Okay. Well, there's levels to tacky. And I think this is like ultimate tacky. So there's this couple, they went viral after their RSVP card rubbed some of their potential guests the wrong way. Now, some people call it insanity, but there's no harm in asking. And if someone decides to go along with the program, it's a win, right? And I guess this could be called a win because we're talking about it, but we're talking about it for all the wrong reasons. This couple, they were offering people different options for dinner based on how much money or gifts they were willing to send for their wedding gift. Now, the breakdown was for a gift of up to $250. If you agreed on your RSVP card, you could pick roast, chicken, or swordfish. Okay? So on the RSVP card, if you chose $251 to $500 worth of a gift or a cash donation to the couple, you could choose sliced steak or poached salmon. Okay? I told you there's levels to this. On their RSVP wedding card, if you selected $501 to $1,000, you could choose from filet mignon or lobster tails. Okay. And last but definitely not least, if you would like to give the new couple, the newlyweds, $1,001 to $2,500 or more gift or donation, you could choose from the menu of 2-pound lobster, a souvenir champagne goblet, or the vegetarian or kosher option. Yeah, now notice that vegetarian and kosher option, they weren't available for you lower level gift givers. I'm like, wait a minute. I wouldn't even respond. I wouldn't. I put that RSV card right back where it came from. Return to sender. Address unknown. Keep your swordfish. Keep your little kosher dish. Keep your salmon. Keep your little mignon finette. Wait a second. But the couple said it never hurts to ask. Is it tacky or is it the next level genius? Questions that need answers. Would you consider doing that? You're planning your event. Birthday party, anniversary party, wedding, divorce party, whatever the case may be. Should there be levels to their choice of food linked to the amount of the gift that they give? What would make these people sit at the house and do that? Like, okay, well, in other breaking news, have you Googled something and immediately thought to yourself, boy, I sure would hate it if somebody knew I was Googling this? Okay, well, Big Brother has been watching. Google has ratted you out state by state, and I have some states that I just need to pick on because what are you thinking? When you're sitting at the computer, you know that's a digital footprint that never goes away. Okay, we know that part. But did you also know that people are taking that information and they're holding it not only against you, but your city and your state? Yes, they are. So in California, when they say some of the craziest things that people have been Googling, how to quit a job you just started. Okay, California, goals. Delaware, they've been Googling the most, are aliens real? Delaware, what y'all got going on? Y'all sipping on something good out there? Florida, how to get rid of a ghost. Georgia, oh wow, one of the most Googled questions from Georgia that really rubbed Google the wrong way. Where is Africa? Well, they just got questions that need answers, that's all. Illinois wanted to know, what do we breathe out? I guess they were doing homework. Okay, Indiana, how was the baby made? Now, Indiana, maybe it's some kids doing homework. I don't know. Iowa wants to know how to get fired. Kentucky, how to become a vampire. No, Kentucky. See, y'all Googling the wrong thing. What you need to be Googling is how to get the cops that killed Breonna Taylor arrested. Like, can you Google that? Okay. In Louisiana, why do I sweat so much? Because you live in Louisiana. Like, who is really in Louisiana Googling that? Please delete that. Massachusetts, Will Smith rap lyrics. Really? Massachusetts, y'all out there trying to get jiggy? Mississippi, y'all made the list. Asking the question, is the earth round? New Mexico seems to be Googling Justin Bieber nudes. I got questions that need answers, but that's neither here nor there. In New York, velour tracksuits. Okay, if y'all don't get Diddy off the Google, take that. Ohio, does my cat love me? And Texas wanted to know if their dog loves them. South Dakota has spent the most time Googling about Dr. Phil. Okay, but you know what? Maybe Google just got too much time. If you have the time to be sitting here wondering what these people are Googling and you're conducting random research on that, I almost feel like you're invading my space. Like, really. I don't want to type a question, whatever the question may be, and know that you're compiling it for somebody's research. And I might be reading it on air the next week. Like, there's got to be a law against that. Or is that in the terms and agreements once we scroll down and hit click and I agree to? Yeah? Oh, well, so much for that. Now, just in case is all the time. So look over your shoulder, honey, and say cheese. Now I gotta get up and get out of here. I have more work to do tonight. I appreciate you so much for taking time out of your schedule to hang out with me while we're chilling. You know, got the disco ball going, and I have some more music in the musical journal that I'm filling the pages to, and I want to leave you with some of that. But I also want to hear from you. So make sure that you hit me up on the Twitter alert at LaTangelaFay. And of course, all of my links are posted at LaTangela.com. I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Mwah. Good night.
Mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check. Yep. Hey. Da, 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 da. I like to call this some of that feel-good music. Rock with me. Da, 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 da. The sunrise, and I look into your eyes. Now I feel what I never felt. What a surprise. What a surprise. I searched high and I searched low, 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 low. Been trying to find some peace of mind and a little love. But I never would have thought, turn around and here you go. It's you, all that I've been looking for. Peace of love and so much more. Poof. You've been there all along, and I never knew it. But now I do. 3, 2, 1, countdown. Next 30 seconds dedicated to you. Gotta take this time to say what I'm feeling, boo. You have been the missing link to me. Now I can see it all so clear for me. Right by my side from day one. How could I be searching for another one?